broken, use a different one. Let's go, Chris.
Hello. My name's Chris. I don't know if you can do these things. This is pretty exciting for me to do this. So this first form is called Reflecting Your Reflection. I would like to thank my brother, kids born in the 21st century, and whoever invented mirrors. One day when my brother and I were getting prepared for a wedding, he was standing in the mirror, and if you guys know Charles, he's very like all in the face and the how he looks and all that. So I asked him, I was like, why are you so steadily perfecting your reflection? As if something's going to change about you by staring at yourself. As you who have siblings would know, he said, shut up. So after that situation, I began to think about that in depth. Right? Where do we perfect our reflections? Do we try to stare in the mirror and think of words to tell ourselves that we're good enough day by day, in the morning for school or for work? And think about how God only needs 3 words to tell us how much we're worth, how much He loves us. I think about how it took Elijah 8 words to convert the town of Nineveh to repent and follow God. Are you aware that they wore robes back then? They didn't have mirrors. But somehow, they have enough faith in God that they can trust Him in those 3 words to change their lives. At times, I begin to think of a way of strategy to persuade myself that I'm good enough. Like, how many words does it take for me to seal in my heart, to tell myself every morning, to look in the mirror and say that I am loved right now? If only I could keep them in my heart in a capsule that I know to open every day, every morning, that I would know, and I would believe this, and I would trust in this. And since we are mirrors, sometimes we critique ourselves, but God doesn't critique us. He loves us. So I find myself trying not to perfect my reflection, but still looking in the mirror. So this next form, it's called Time Lapse. Again, about a story with a family member. So my father and I, we were on a car ride to go to Target, I believe, because we love Target. And he was telling me about how almost every kid in his high school class is gone. He said there's about 8 of them left that's still living, that he knows of. And at that moment, I heard his voice crack. And to be honest, that terrified me. The man that helped me become who I am, who helped raise me, was getting teary-eyed. If I could, in that moment, I would have told him that you are not a dying species, that you are not going to be wiped off the face of the earth. You are full of wisdom and joy, and happiness, and love. Your job is to share that, to nurture that to people. But I didn't. At times I wish that I could go back in the time machine, but then that would be called regret, right? Isn't that why they think about having time machines? They regret moments that they didn't speak up. I've learned to let go of that. I've learned to give that to God, and hopefully one day I will speak up to my Father and say that you are loved. You are not a dying breed. At times, I wish that time could tell time to lapse itself back. But I don't have omnipotent power. Only God does. So I'll leave that to him.
Urban doxology.